Hello, I am Christine Yeager. I am the regional rep for the Southeast Texas region, as well as Washington State, Missouri, Kentucky, Pennsylvania, and Connecticut. I also oversee the annual surveys, Zero Hero activities, and our You in the Driver's Seat smartphone app for our program. So to start off, the purpose of this is to explain the revamp of the TDS All-Star program and to answer your questions. At its core, the TDS program focuses on the top 5 risk factors for teen drivers. So distractions, nighttime driving, speeding, low seatbelt use, and impaired driving, plus additional safety topics like pedestrians and bicycles, railroad safety, and safety around large trucks and buses. And so the All-Star part of our program is where we recognize schools who do outstanding outreach work, where student teams can earn cash rewards for their school. Formerly, we had the All-Star program structured as a point-based program. And as the program grew over the years, so did the number of activities that were available. And so that sometimes led to teachers and students feeling a bit overwhelmed on where to get started. So this year we restructured the All-Star program to focus on one risk unit at a time with certain required activities. And then your school simply gets credit for the risk unit once it's completed. We have a calendar which we will follow and send communications about via email and on our social media platforms, but you are welcome to do whatever risk unit you want to do at any time. You can complete the activities for that unit and report back to us on an activity form, and we will reward you with a $200 check for completing each unit. And I'll also add that if you're focused on doing one risk unit, but you complete an activity for a different risk unit, so we'll still count that. So just, make sure you report everything so that you'll get credit. The risk unit information will be sent out on a calendar schedule throughout the year, as I mentioned. And so this will allow your teams to plan your outreach and activities. And if your team completes all 6 units, you can earn a total of $1,500. So here are the steps for becoming an All-Star school. The first step is to complete your annual surveys. We do annual surveys every year, hence the name annual. All of that information is in your welcome email. It shows how many surveys your school has to complete based on your school's population size. It provides links and instructions to the survey, and it tells you your school code, which students will need to enter at the beginning of the survey. So surveys are your first priority because schools must complete annual surveys in order to receive any All-Star reward checks. Once we get all of those surveys back, we mark them complete on our end. You don't have to fill out an activity report about that. And then that's how you kind of kickstart your All-Star year. Once you completed surveys, you will get an email with a summary report of the survey results. And if we do not already have a W-9 for your school on file, we will also ask that you complete that information at that time. And so then once we have a W-9 on file for your school, then we will send you a $100 check for completing surveys. So just if you get an email from us, just be sure to read it carefully and maybe check your spam folders before clearing them out. After surveys are completed, you would start your first risk unit. The first risk unit that we will send communication about is the distracted driving unit, again, based on the calendar that we're going to follow. The good thing about this is that, again, you can do activities from other risk units at any time. So, for example, let's say next month in October, that's during our distracted driving risk unit. But if you want to have a big rig come out and do a display during that time, just make sure to report it. We will go ahead and count that under the share the road risk unit. So once that comes up. So it's like, even if you do some things early, we'll still give you credit in the appropriate risk unit. So again, just report everything. using an activity form, and you will need a school code, your school code for the activity form, so you can refer to your welcome email or email your rep if you're not sure. When you complete a risk unit, you'll receive a $200 check, and then you would move on to the next unit. So this is the award scale. So you earn $100 for completing surveys, and that makes your school an outstanding school. And then each risk unit earns your school a star level and a $200 check. So there are 6 risk units, so 1 stars up to 6 stars. And if your school completes all 6 units, then we will give you a $200 bonus, giving your school the opportunity to earn a total of $1,500. Once again, surveys must be completed to earn all-star rewards for completing risk units. All right, so we send your school a free educational resource startup kit. The guided risk units are guided. So, we have a specified amount of time kind of following that calendar that I mentioned. Each risk unit will be about a month or 6 weeks approximately. And we will, communicate messages and emails about what risk unit you should be focusing on. But again, if you want to do your own thing, you are welcome to do so. I thank you so much for your time, for joining us. And if you think of a question later, please email your regional rep. We are here for you and want to just guide you through this and help you have a great year.